Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Nard and Nisha once again, minus Nard today. This is a well requested.
I'm right here.
Okay, not minus Nard today because he wants to be in the video now. But this is a very highly requested video. Today we will be doing faux locks. So you see us starting off, I'm just plaiting down her hair with just mini plaits all over her entire head, just to make the process go faster. Normally faux locks are done with doing box braids first and then wrapping them individually, but I just think that takes entirely too long. I think this method is a lot faster. And as you see, I have all the plaits all over her head. Now I'm going to start crocheting the locks. Okay, so here you see me showing you the braid, and I'm going to take a piece of just some regular braiding hair. You can use expression hair. I use that pre-stretched hair that's normally popular for box braids, and I'm just going to take my crochet hook and stick it through the top of the braid, as you can see right here, and then I'm just going to loop the braiding hair through. And I use the braiding hair just to keep from using a bunch of marlin hair. Marlin hair is a lot more expensive than braiding hair, so I figured braiding hair would be a lot simpler than wasting a bunch of marlin hair that does the same purpose. And so as you see, I'm going to pull the braiding hair down to the length that I want it, so all the braids can be the same length. And then I'm going to go in with my marlin hair. Most YouTubers you will see actually use Cuban twist hair because it's already kind of stretched out, and marlin hair is kind of like pre-twisted, if that makes sense. So I just kind of stretched out the marlin hair to make it a little more nappier. That way it'll better wrap around the hair. And so I'm going to take just about an inch to inch and a half of marlin hair and hold it on the base of the braid, and then I'm going to take the longer end of the marlin hair and wrap it constantly around that braid to start the faux lock. And at the base of the braid, you're going to see me wrap it a couple times just to make sure the braid is nice and tight before I start wrapping down the braid. And this is actually going to be sped up just a little bit for the sake of time, but you just see I'm constantly wrapping and being sure to overlap the marlin hair over top of each other so you don't have any issues with the braid unraveling at all. And so her braids were actually down to her waist, so normally you can use one piece of marlin hair to cover the entire braid, but since hers are so long, I actually use 2 to 2.5 pieces of marlin hair per braid. Even 3 on some of them, depending on whether or not it was in the top of her head or not. And so whenever I'm trying to add, before I add another marlin hair piece in, I always make sure that the first piece I put in is secure, and you just do that by constantly twisting it back and forth, up and down the braid. And then I take another piece of marlin hair and do the same process, but I'm sure to overlap it over the end of that other piece. And as you can see, it's wrapping and wrapping. In order to TV, y'all, we watched like literally 10 episodes of Lethal Weapon while I was doing her hair. That show is hilarious. Watch it on Hulu. It's very recommended. The show is amazing, and it got me through all 7 hours of this hairstyle. And so you continue to see me wrapping down the braid, and I'm going to zoom out just a little bit so you can see the rest of the braid being wrapped. And as you can see that coming right now, I'm constantly just wrapping that braiding hair with the marlin hair. And when you get to the end of the braid, you're going to see that I'm going to keep wrapping down to the tip until it's the length of the rest of the braids. You don't actually have to wrap it all the way down to the bottom of the that braiding hair. You can just wrap it down until you feel like it's long enough for the rest of the braid. And so when I'm finished with the braid, I just wrap it back up to lock it. Excuse my head, y'all. Ooh, I was looking rough. And I just found an extra piece of marlin hair that was really short that I found on the floor, just so I wouldn't waste a whole string of marlin hair. And I took that and continued to wrap down to the bottom of the braid. And this is where I was talking about. So once I get to the end, I actually start back wrapping the hair up the braid instead of down the braid. And I'm going to take this nail glue that I got from Sally's Beauty. You can honestly use any nail glue, but I like this nail glue because it dries like instantly, so you don't have to actually wait on the end of it to dry and hold it and all that stuff. So this nail glue worked perfect for me, and so I just put a little drop of nail glue onto the hair, and then I basically took the excess string of hair and wrapped it into the nail glue until it like melted into the other piece of hair, if that makes sense. And then once I finished, I just palm rolled the hair into it, and I cut off the excess braiding hair that's left on the end. These are just regular faux locks and not goddess locks. She did not want the curly hair in it, so that's why she was going for that nappy look, like the faux locks that Rihanna had in her hair. So this was the nappy look we were going for. That's why it looks like this. So I'm just going to show you the same process once again. I take the braiding hair and loop it through the top of the braid with the crochet needle. And then you see me pulling it to the desired length that I want, so it matches the rest of the hair. And then I'm going to go in once again with my Marley hair and wrap it. But yeah, like I said, ignore my head, y'all. I was so tired. Like, I stood up for 7 hours straight. Like, I thought my back was gonna give in, y'all. So I had to snatch that wig off real quick because I wouldn't have made it. And I feel so naked without my wedding ring, y'all. Her hair kept getting caught and snagged into my ring, so I had to take it off. And that's all I could think about while I was doing her hair. I was like, please don't let me forget where I put it. Don't let me forget where I put it. And I immediately put it back on after I finished her hair. But as you see me here, once again, wrapping and being sure to overlap the Marley hair over top of each other so I can make sure that there's no unraveling happening. And be sure to wrap as tight as possible, but use your other hand to hold the braid still, because if you just continue to wrap, you'll actually start twisting the base of her hair, which will make the braid even tighter, and I didn't want that tension on her hair. So the braids are tight, but it's not like tight to where it's pulling her brains out. I'm a fellow tender-headed person, so I be trying to look out for my peoples out here that are also tender-headed. And once you get to the end of where her real hair stopped, where you see it was kind of puffy, make sure you're extra tight around that part so her real hair does not pop out. She is a very true 4C hair, natural hair person, so her hair is really thick and coarse, so you just have to be very sure that you're getting it as tight and neat as possible. And I made sure to lock that first piece of Marley hair. Now I'm going back in with another piece of Marley hair just to secure the rest of the braid and cover up the rest of the braiding hair. So I'm going to wrap and continue to wrap. Your fingers will hurt, y'all. Like, my fingers were like locking so bad throughout this process. But just being sure to not lose your grip, because once you let go of that piece, it's going to instantly unravel. And that is not what we want. You want to be able to make it to the end of the braid so you can lock the braid so it does not unravel anymore. So I'm continuing to wrap. Oh, y'all see that painting that's in the back? I actually created that myself. That was my first attempt at the Z Gallerie painting, but I ended up redoing it because I did not like how the gray turned out. We didn't have light gray paint like we had in our other Z Gallerie painting, so I actually took some black paint and mixed it with white, thinking I can make it gray, but it actually made it like charcoal gray instead of like the really light gray like I wanted. That's in our last video. So yeah, side note. And that was the end of that process. I literally repeated that process 50 million times, and as you can see, her braids are really, really long. And it was not tight. I was able to put it in a ponytail with no problem. She didn't scream to death. And that was the final results. And I let my clients do their own baby hair because I know everyone else has like their personal preference of how they want their baby hair to work. So I just always let them have control of that. And these are the end of the faux lock tutorial. I hope you guys liked it. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you.